Today I'm making a vlog, and I'm making a vlog about, first of all, crochet. I'm looking off to the side, but if I look this way I can't see what I'm doing. It's bizarre. Never mind. Anyway, now crocheting, I'll show you how I manage to hold on to things such as a pen or other things like that, because as we all know, my hand doesn't work correctly. And many people who don't know me don't realize that, because I've adapted over the years. I broke my hand quite severely in 2004, so that's 20 years ago. And it was so bad that at first the consultant thought he could sort it out, but the hospital only had 2 theatres, and emergencies kept coming in at that time for some reason. So of course I kept getting bumped, and by the time they got to me, it had significantly healed where they couldn't do anything with it. So he was angry, and he told me quite angrily that I would end up, he said, just write off your right hand, you'll never use it again. And of course I'm not ambidextrous, I'm quite right-handed. So I didn't even get referred for physio because he thought there was no point. So I tried to learn to walk right left-handed and do things left-handed, and I was like, after a week of that, I was like, blow that for a game of soldiers. So I just started doing my own physio, and because I had a background in caring for people, so I just started, because my hand was like this. I couldn't turn it, I couldn't turn my wrist, so I couldn't take change in this hand, and I couldn't move any of it. And these 2 fingers and my thumb were numb because all of the nerves were crushed and ligaments were crushed. And my wrist is crooked. Now I can turn my arm, but my wrist is crooked on my arm because the hand just came completely away from the wrist, but it didn't disconnect. So everything was crushed up and quite bad. So I began just several times, actually quite often through the day, I would just push my fingers down as much as I could do. And it was agony, but I just kept doing it until I got my hand to the point where I still couldn't turn my wrist, but I could hold the crochet hook. So I began to crochet. I used to crochet before that, and I had done it for years. So I would move so rapidly with the needle. When other people would ask me, or the hook, when other people would ask me to teach them how to crochet, they had to keep reminding me to slow down because they couldn't actually see this bit anymore. It was going so quickly. I can't do that now, but that's fine. At least I can crochet. And because of the work with the needle, I'm actually now able to turn my wrist enough. I still can't turn it all the way, but I can turn it enough. If I want to turn it further, I have to move my arm in, and then I can kind of get it a little bit further, but it's still not flat. So I couldn't take change in this hand. When last I used change, I still couldn't use that hand. But people don't notice it anymore because I'm not going around with a claw anymore. And I had to change my wheelchair steering mechanism from the right hand to the left, and I had to learn how to drive with the left. That was a nightmare. Oh my word, did I keep banging. I practiced indoors before going outdoors and risking running into people, and that was a nightmare. I ran into the walls so many times, and I'd had the walls all painted and decorated, and now there's all these skid marks along the walls and chunks out of the door frames and everything, because I'm not left-handed. But I did finally master it, and so now I drive with my left hand. But that's because my right wrist simply could not take that constant pressure, because I use my wheelchair indoors and out. It couldn't take that constant pressure of steering the wheelchair. But I can still do some things. I can still cook, I can still sew. Now the thing about sewing, of course, is that the needle, I use the thread doubled, like 2 strands of thread. That way the thread is on the needle, and if I drop the needle, it's not going anywhere because the thread is holding it. So I can still retrieve it. I just take the thread and pull up until I've got the needle. And crochet is also all right, because what I do is I can use, try to see if I can show you, I can put the crochet hook under, but then I use my finger to hold the hook, so that when I'm crocheting, I guide the thread there, and then I push this down and through, and then still holding on to the needle, I do that. Just pull it through. And again, because the hook is there, if I drop it, it's not going anywhere. So I can still crochet. It takes a lot longer. It's a much slower process, but I can still do it. So we can adapt things, we can adapt to our situation. We just get on with it, don't we? I mean, that's who we are. We just get on with it. And so in that same fall, though, what we didn't realize at the time, we were so focused on the damage to my hand that we didn't realize that I had also damaged my elbow and most significantly my shoulder. And all of my joints are crooked. Everything is crooked. You can probably tell one side of my jaw is longer than the other. And so my jaws have never worked well. And that's why I have to keep my jaw shut now. So, but it's okay. I mean, as I said, we just adapt. We just get on with it. And so when I fell, because my joint is crooked, it took such an impact in the wrong way that it developed a big sac of bursitis on this side. So, but, you just get on, don't you? So I'm able to do a lot of things just because I figured out ways to do it, but also because we have all sorts of wonderful things like the grips that I'll show you another time in another vlog that help me to be able to hold on to pens and cutlery, and I even have a kettle tipper now. I bought a travel kettle, so it's much smaller, and it fits into a dipper so that I can rest the kettle, which is lighter, on this thing, and then just use it to tip the water into the cup. Dead easy. There's so many clever inventions now that help us to remain independent. But I have been so honoured by a particular stalker that I have. The poor dear is so obsessed with me because I have spurned her love. So she has honoured me by, she has more than a dozen fake channels. She has close to 24 fake channels. And one of them, she changed its name to Man in a Wheelchair because she had made that her male alter ego channel and was pretending that he was in Dubai. But she changed the name to Man in a Wheelchair in order to honour the fact that I have a wheelchair. And I still laugh at her because, Heather, you'll remember how she always tried to hurt me by making comments about my wheelchair. You know why you're in a wheelchair, it's your punishment, Bee. and all that sort of thing. And I just laughed. Feather, the first time she saw it, she laughed out loud. It's so funny that somebody can be that desperate. And she still tries to bully me. She still hopes that she can hurt me, and I just mock her and laugh at her. But she tried to use those emojis of wheelchairs. Poor granny needs a wheelchair to get around, and poor little thing, you have to walk. You know, how many times have I been told by people, I wish I had one of those, you know, because they have to walk. People who, sometimes people in queues would ask me, do you want to go ahead? Because I've got my shopping in my lap, and they would turn around and see me and say, oh, do you want to go ahead of me? And I would remind them, no, I'm fine. I'm sitting. You're the one standing with your load of shop. So I don't mind. So actually, it's a strength, not a weakness. I celebrate it. I mean, at first it was annoying because I was too accustomed to just barreling down the street, walking, you know, and so it felt a little bit lazy at first. But once I got used to it, because I did have to do it, though I had no choice anymore, now it's okay. I'm fine with it. So when she tries to do that, I just mock her and laugh at her, and of course report her to YouTube. And so, of course, she got another fake channel. She got banned from it for a couple of days for her bullying, because I reported that and the fact that she had an expletive addressed to me on her About page. She is so obsessed. And so now she's chosen, yet when she got banned and she couldn't comment for a couple of days on Maddie's channel, she then created a new channel. Now, her original name that we all knew her by was Princess Pinky, and I keep referring to that. So she changed her new channel name to Sarah Pink, a combination of our two names. She is so consumed with her love for me. I just love it. But what I've been doing for the last few weeks is I have been busy with creating a new website and figuring out, because what I discovered is YouTube, who are not at all consistent about things, but they own your videos. Once you upload them, you can't have them back. When I discovered that, I began looking for an alternative, because I can't keep them on my phone. You know, eventually you have to get the space back from on your phone, or you can't make any more videos. It won't even let you record. So I did that. And of course I have endless USB sticks. Wasn't all that interested in more. But what happened to my old website was the server that it was on was being retired. So I just downloaded everything that I had on that website, all my blogs, everything, and saved them. And it suddenly occurred to me in the last few weeks, why not just put everything on a website where it's mine? So what I'm doing is I was waiting to upload anything until I had this all set up and under control. So I have a new website. It has a subscription page. On the home page, it has all the way down at the bottom of the page where you can subscribe. So anyone who is subscribed to me on YouTube can subscribe to me on the website. I'm shocked to see that I only ever expected the 6 people I began making these videos for to subscribe. So it was surprising that people want to subscribe to me. Right? You can. And I will still be here posting vlogs, but those vlogs will also be posted on my website, and other videos such as my cooking and all of that will be only on that website, because I've had friends of mine who have been, one channel who has been doing the same thing for, oh my goodness, years. And suddenly YouTube decided to demonetize her channel because it was reused material. There are thousands of channels on YouTube. Like, for instance, the Dream Academy, the music group, they do not have a YouTube page. But there are a few channels, but the one that's the most popular, Dream Academy Topic, in order to get Dream Academy fans, and then they just publish reused Dream Academy videos, which don't belong to them. This basically the same thing she was doing, only she wasn't uploading their videos. What she was doing was, with disclaimers, having segments of their shows. Let's talk about this. Let's rate these things. What do you think about that? For fans. It was like a fan page. So what's the difference between those two things? Another woman I was following, her channel kept disappearing, and I asked her once, what is going on? She said, I don't know. YouTube keep deleting my videos and saying that the material isn't good enough. And all she was doing was showing herself in her little village, doing her housework, cooking her meals. Totally benign. There seemed no rhyme or reason at all for what was happening. And years ago, I told this one whose channel is being harassed now, that years ago, another channel that I follow, they took down one of his videos where he had a live stream. It was a live stream. Everybody knows what that is. But they told him that the reason they did that was because the live stream was misleading. It was misleading people to believe that somewhere there was a thunderstorm that was ongoing 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, forever. Well, he told us that's why that video got deleted, and he got a storm of response in support of himself that we're not that stupid. Nobody is that stupid. So he submitted that to YouTube. Back in those days, you were able to do that, and they decided to put his video back up, and he just creates live stream all the time now. But it's that kind of thing where they've changed a lot of things so that you're not actually even emailing anybody anymore. They say that they'll email you, but they don't. And there's no rhyme or reason to anything that's happening, and you can't talk to anyone. You have to rarely go round the houses to talk to someone. And thankfully, I'm persistent, but it's just not worth it. And even though nothing's happened to my videos and nothing's happened to my channel, that's not the point. The point is they're not reliable and they own your videos. So that's why I'm creating my own website, and I have my videos on YouTube for the vlogs once a month is probably what I'll do, just once a month. And all of the other things will be on the website. And I'll let you know the link to the website in my YouTube videos and in my About page. And anyone who wants to can subscribe to that website. And it's just a simple website, quite easy to navigate. And yeah, that way I'll own my videos. So I'll have them in two places, and YouTube can't do anything. Like with all of my previous videos, what I had discovered was if I wanted to download that and keep it, from the YouTube, it's YouTube's now. You can't have it. So I don't like being told that. It's mine. I'm having it. So I'll probably end up remaking a lot of the older ones anyway, which just gives me something extra to do. But yeah, that's where I've been for the last few weeks. Instead of uploading a new video, I've been doing this. So that's where I'll be, and I hope to see you there. Thank you.